All right. So, my name is RoShawn. Thank you all for tuning in again. Uh, real quick message. Not gonna hold you all. But many of you already know that I am a book author of 4 different books. Uh, the first 3 books talks about my encounterment with the criminal justice system and how I was sucked into the system when I should not have been, behind a faulty system and a young lady sneaking away from her home that I didn't know snuck away from her home, that fed the fuel to an angry parent not knowing how to react to a situation that ultimately put me in a position that I'm gonna feel the effects for the rest of my life from this young lady sneaking out. Now, with these books, we have a Pure Justice Prison Book Drive. I am the co-founder of an organization that is allowed to send books to inmates across the United States that's incarcerated in prison. And we do this so that it gives the inmates something to do, over a course of time, so they will less likely find themselves in trouble because they'll be somewhere reading a book, or just receiving mail in general. We understand how important it is to receive mail while incarcerated, as somebody that were once locked up. I understand, what it feel like to not get mail. I understand what it feel like to get a lot of mail and watch other people never get mail. I understand people's feelings when they feel like they are not loved or they are forgotten about. I actually understand. I watch people cry themselves to sleep, or I watch people try to sleep the time away because they feel like they are alone. And I talk about my situation, and how I was sucked into the system when I should not have been sucked into the system when I was a kid, to uplift a situation that many people choose to ignore. I talk about my situation to educate people on how things happen for some that could be unjust to many. I understand that my situation is unique to me, but it is not rare. People experience the same exact problem that I have experienced and been experiencing way before I was even born. And until we do something about it, people will continue to experience incarcerations behind false accusations. They will continuously be demonized from not having enough money to fight a case. I don't care what kind of charge you put in front of it. People are divided. They are separated between classes, socioeconomic status, education, race and gender identity, and it put this wedge in between people, and depending on who you are as an individual, some of us have tendencies to use these divisions and separations and add more ingredients and create problems for people that they know they can demonize because they feel that they are better than, above, or you are different. But regardless of how different we are, regardless of how we feel about one another, we all understand that nobody's perfect. We understand that people make mistakes. We understand, mistakes need to be corrected. And we also understand that you shouldn't, even though we do, and I'm going to say we because I don't want to separate myself and act like I am better than anyone else. But we as humans have tendencies to treat other people different because we may be different than you. Yet, everyone know it's wrong to treat people different because you are black and I am white. Because you are poor and I am rich or wealthy. Or because you're foreign and I'm American. We know it's wrong. So we push to eliminate racism. We push to make a point to prevent people from antagonizing, bullying, and picking on people because they are queer. We make a point to build relationships amongst those that are different. And we create facilities called prisons and jails for people that may be different, that may have committed a crime or may not have committed a crime, may have been sucked into a situation but yet don't have the money to pay to get out of that situation. We created amendments. We have laws. The Sixth Amendment is due process, adequate counsel. So therefore, supposedly, everyone is innocent until proven guilty. But one thing we don't realize and understand, or many of us don't, is that signing a plea deal or even being found guilty of a crime does not equate to guilt. It could equate to, I'm signing this plea deal because this is the only choice I have in order to avoid maximum punishment. Me taking something to trial and losing may be I didn't have enough money or money at all to afford to pay for my innocence, so I went up against the beast and was poor or black or foreign or different and lost. Doesn't necessarily mean you are guilty. Therefore, everyone should understand the criminal justice system is flawed. People are incarcerated daily behind mistakes, people's personal biases, racism. People are sucked into the criminal justice system not because they committed a crime all the time, but because, again, they were poor and couldn't afford to pay for their innocence. The prisons and jails supposedly were made to rehabilitate, make situations better, prepare people incarcerated to improve and better themselves, to maneuver their way right back into society and be a productive citizen. Now, I've been to prison. A lot of you that's on my YouTube channel been to prison as well. A lot of you that watch my YouTube never been to prison, and I understand I'm going to get a whole bunch of trolls on this channel, on this video, just like they are on my other videos. Hi, trolls. I welcome you too. But I want to tell you something ironic that I found, which is not you know, something I can't imagine because I can, but it's hard to believe. So I send my book, Stolen Identity, off to an inmate that's incarcerated. And as I'm filling out the address for this inmate, and again, I know what his charge is, I don't know what his case is. I know what his charge is, I don't know what happened in his case or what his circumstances are as to how he actually got charged with what he was charged with. But one thing I understand is that everybody that's locked up and incarcerated is not actually guilty of a crime. And another thing I know is that, again, to reiterate, that prisons are supposed to rehabilitate, to work you back to be a productive citizen for society, to create a safer environment. But as I fill out this envelope to send this book off to this inmate, I realize the address. And this address, let me read it to you. 8200 No More Victims Road, Jefferson City, Missouri 65101. So I don't know why every time I hear the word Jefferson, or Jefferson Street, Jefferson Monument, Jefferson Statue, it always deal with racism and oppression. Maybe it's just me. But the street that I had to send this book to says No More Victims Road. How was this rehabilitative? And why would anybody feel it's okay to taunt people behind bars knowing that everybody behind bars is not guilty of a crime? And if prisons were built to rehabilitate, why is the street a street of demonization? This is demonizing people and acting as if everybody behind bars are there because they deserve to be behind bars and they're behind bars for a reason. This shows how messed up our system is and why it's so important that if you are not involved in activism or changing the criminal justice system as it is, then you need to get involved today. Racism is not right. It's not okay for people to treat you different because you are white. It's not okay for people to treat you different because you are poor. It's not okay for people to treat you different because you are black. It is not okay for people to treat you different because you are foreign or from somewhere else. And it is not okay for people to treat you different because you have a criminal record. People need to get educated. And we need to do everything we can together to change the system that we know today that is filled with racism and oppression. I have a call to action. And my call to action from me to you is to help me fund a grassroots nonprofit organization, Pure Justice, that I co-found. I am the co-founder. Help me fund this organization by purchasing my autobiography, Stolen Identity. Purchase a t-shirt. Go to www.purejustice.org. That's purejustice.org. Or if you don't want the book, you don't want a t-shirt, I'm asking you to fight racism and oppression. And I'm asking you to help reform the criminal justice system by donating to the Pure Justice organization by visiting purejustice.org. If you would like to come on this show to talk to me about how the criminal justice system has impacted you, your housing, your relationships with your family and friends, email me at thepurejustice@gmail.com. That's ThePureJustice at gmail.com. And again, today is the day to stand against racism and oppression. Talk to you soon.